Yes. Hi. Welcome, everyone. I, I'm wearing at least a brightly colored outfit today. We saved the sequins for the closing celebration, so look forward to that in just 14 days. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, I see a ton of people from all over the US and someone from P. Fitzgibbons telling us hi from Spain, someplace. I love that. I wish I was in Spain someplace. Gareth, how are things where
Someplace in
you
Spain.
are?
So I don't know how I got here, but I'm someplace in Spain.
This sounds like a great prompt for like a thriller or a sci-fi.
Yeah, there you go. There's a prompt if you're struggling for ideas.
If you're struggling for ideas, even with the 120 writing prompts that we sent via email, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. If you didn't get those, you can still get them, no problem. Yeah, if you're still looking for ideas, maybe hello from somewhere in Spain. Hey, Victoria, good to see you. Hey, B, I'm so excited. Lots of familiar names and faces and locations. Pat Macy, girl, look, Pat, Kennesaw, Georgia, you are right down the road from me. So good to see you. The weather here is a little dicey. So bear with me if we get some thunder boomers rolling through. We should be just fine. So, Gareth, like I always say, it's not a live stream if something doesn't go awry.
Always.
But in
That
case it's
sounds like some kind of internet lingo. You just said thunder boomer.
so, if the tubes of the internet get disconnected because of thunder boomers, yeah, hail the spork. Yes, I love having our former students on these live streams. Oh, look at AK. Hello from the cab of my semi truck in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Wow. I love these live streams and where and how people are able to join us. Always fun. So, welcome everyone. It's Beth here from AutoCrit. I have my colleague Gareth here with me. Say hi.
Hello.
And we are here to kick off officially the 2021 AutoCrit Community Writing Challenge. Yay! I wish Daniel had been able to join us today because he always has like confetti and sounds and applause sounds. We'll just have to do our own. So here, yay!
I did bring my whistle.
Yeah, you
Start
did,
off, but
Coach.
then I realized I don't actually have one here in real life. So you just have to imagine the sound of a whistle blowing for the kickoff.
We saved the fireworks and sequin outfits for the closing ceremony, which will be in just 14 days. Today, however, day one of the challenge that you have all accepted. You've all stepped up and said, "I'm ready to commit to this." You're going to take a short story from idea, write the draft, polish it, edit it, all the way through to completion, ready to be released to the public in just 14 days. It sounds a little overwhelming. What do you think, Gareth? How does that make you feel?
Ready to go.
I know, right? I'm so excited. Look, my trouble sometimes is just picking a prompt and going with it because there are always so many ideas. So we wanted to give you all an opportunity to say hi, meet us, meet the team, meet some of your friendly competitors out there in the chat with YouTube, and kind of talk a little bit about the challenge itself. Now, we'll have events, we have some frequently asked questions, we have some, although very few, rules. So let's jump in and talk a little bit about some of those rules. Right, we'll get the stern things out of the way first, and by rules, guidelines really. The main rule about this challenge is to have fun. Right, that is the whole purpose. We want to have fun, be creative, challenge ourselves, accomplish some things, but really having fun. Hey, Lati, good to see you. She's like, I made it. So rule number one, always keep that in mind. Have a good time. Have fun, make friends, win prizes, all of that. So the first set of kind of guidelines I want to talk about. Let's talk about length. So short story and a short timeline So word count somewhere around 5,000. Now, if you plan, and that's kind of if you plan to submit to us at the end of the challenge for potentially inclusion in our published anthology, these are going to apply a little more stringently to you. If you don't plan to submit and you want to write 10,000 words and you can do that, go for it. But for submissions, we're looking for around 5,000 words. Now, Gareth, what do we do if it is 5,001 words?
That will be fine.
Exactly. That will be fine. What do we do if it's 4,999 words?
That will also be fine.
Exactly. So it's a guideline, not a hard and fast rule. So as long as you're using your judgment and telling your story, because that's what's important here. Now, Gareth, genre. If you personally were competing, I feel confident you would select horror as your genre. But what are our rules or guidelines for genre for this challenge?
For this challenge and genre, you are free to write whatever you like. There is no restriction on genre. So if you want to, write a fantasy for the first time, try your hand at a sci-fi short, or maybe you want to blend things. So you're going to do a historical romance sci-fi. Go for it.
I love that.
Whatever it is you want to do. One of the things that I do recommend, actually, because it makes for a fun time, and as Beth said, the golden rule around here is have fun. Why do it if it's not fun? Doesn't make any sense. But with the writing prompts list, if you're struggling for ideas and it's like, I don't really know what to do, try picking like 3 or 4 and just mash them together. Take the prompts, pick 3, write them out as a short paragraph, string them together, and then see how you can connect them with some conjunctions in between, so that it makes what's basically a story, a plot, and run with it. Have fun.
That is, as Gareth mentioned, the golden rule. Have fun. Now, I always say, look, these are guidelines. That one's a hard and fast rule. Have fun. Mandatory fun time, as I like to say. So any genre, any blend of genre, anything you want. We are looking for fiction, prose fiction. But those are really the only 2 guiding principles there. Heck, make up your own genre. Do whatever you want. Just have fun and make it interesting. And it is a great way to test your test the waters of a genre that you may not typically write in.
Yeah, and I see a question there. Do we have to use a prompt? Not at all. We just provide the prompts there to help kick your brain into gear if you decide to use those. But if you have an idea already in your mind, the whole purpose is just to get everybody together, sat down, and actually creating something over the next couple of weeks. So you've got a deadline, you've got guidance on to do it, and do it like it's a serious piece of work. Really, it's because throughout the next 2 weeks we're going through periods of generating the idea, getting it written, getting it edited, and having a final short piece that you can then you can submit it to us, and we'll have our judges look at it and do the grand prize. But you're going to want to make sure it's in professional shape, because really the result there is you've written something. It's presentable. It is again, a professional piece of work, and you can take that and submit it anywhere you like.
And I see a couple other questions that we can maybe mash in a true genre mashup. We can mash these together. Is there a minimum word count, or can I just write new chapters for my novel? There is no real minimum word count, and of course you could just write chapters from your novel. The guideline on both of those is it really should be a wholly encapsulated story. And that's sometimes the challenge for those of us who like to write longer form, is how do you really encapsulate an entire story arc in such a short word count, such a small word count, right? Because if it's too short, it doesn't feel robust and engaging enough, and it may not have the action and the climax, whatever. If it is extractions from a current novel, it may not be engrossing enough, because we don't know the characters enough, maybe. So up to you. But Gareth, anything to add to those?
No, write whatever you like. is what I would say. I mean, the kind of theme is the short story challenge, so it's come up with a short story and get it done. But if you're already working on something and you just want to kind of join us for this time and use that as motivation and accountability to continue working on your novel, absolutely. The only thing that you wouldn't be able to submit it to us at the end for a chance at that being printed in the grand prize anthology, but you're still here and you're still working on your stories, and that's fantastic. And you'll still be in the running for prizes at the end from our fantastic sponsors and ourselves.
Good point. We talk a lot about the anthology because we're very proud of it, but we have tons of great prizes available. So absolutely, if you're in the midst of working on a longer piece, this challenge is maybe just what you need to hold yourself accountable, get some inspiration, get some motivation, be part of a group. It's going to be so much fun, whether you submit at the end or not. Totally up to you. And if you go through the whole thing thinking no, and then you think yes, do it. If vice versa, if you go through the whole thing thinking no, and at the end you're like, I might just do it, take that chance. It's so liberating. I think you'll really enjoy it. Can I write an episode from my life? Absolutely. How about historical nonfiction? Totally, absolutely fine. Almost anything you can think of. A story from your own life, embellished, based on a true story. I think all of those are fine, Gareth.
Yeah. There's no limits in terms of the content. Again, the whole point is just to get you in that chair and get you writing.
Right. And I see Bruce in the comments, like, I mostly write 100,000 to 2.5K words. So 5,000 is a daunting target. And I know that a lot of our viewers also are in the kind of other end of that spectrum where they write 300,000 words. So to tell a story in such a short, it's such a fun challenge. Great way to exercise those writer muscles and editing muscles. Of course, we'll talk about that later. So I think we've talked about, should this story be broken up into like mini chapters? Good question, Kay Bailey from our chat. Up to you, I think. Gareth, what have we seen in the past? We had several hundred submissions last time. Tell us about that.
It depends. It's all based on the story itself. I guess what's going on in there. Sometimes you may want to just put a break there if you're changing over mid-story to some a different location, different scene, different person.
Scene breaks.
Yeah, absolutely, you can put a break in there. But you'll often also find short stories, 4,500 words, let's say, that don't have any breaks like that. It's just one continuous story. So it's all down to the feel of the piece and what you think is best.
I had a question in the chat that was good. Where was that? Oh no. Oh yes, from Lady. Gareth, can you talk a little bit about that anthology and what, not connected to any of our other works, we want to get into the anthology. What does that look like from a future publication point of view? Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
So the pieces or the stories that would be considered for the anthology is essentially what we ask is for you to think of it as though you came across a call for submissions to a publication. Usually those publications would be themed. It would say that the theme for this anthology is going to be cars, let's say. We have 5,000 word limit. Payment is this much, yada yada, and they'll tell you what's put in it. So they expect that when you submit a story that it is a self-contained story. It has a beginning, middle, and end. It's themed around cars or involves cars in some way, in that example case, and isn't 8,500 words. They've asked for 5,000. A little above is going to be fine. Usually any kind of word count limit is an upper limit, so they may be just fine with 2,300 if the story's good and it fits and they've got the space for it. But yeah, that's really about it. Lily's question there was not connected to any of our other works. Not necessarily. It could be a side story, a spin-off in a universe, within a universe that you are already writing, as long as it makes sense. If somebody can start the story with no prior knowledge of your other, where it's come from or the setting and all of that, and be satisfied reading it as a standalone thing, then absolutely fine.
That it's comprehensive. That it's a fully encapsulated story. Yes, absolutely. And I think, Gareth, also there are often questions around if this story does get selected for the anthology, would I still be able to as the author self-publish that or send that traditional? So talk a little bit about those rights.
Yes, absolutely. Whenever you submit for the grand prize at the end, if you want to get a chance at that, we ask or take no claims to ownership of any copyright or any agreements in that sense. The publication itself is physically published and provided only to the authors who are featured
Only to
inside of it.
authors.
That's it. There's obviously one office copy that Beth likes to keep, but it's not an official publication by any sense. So you are, it wouldn't be considered by anybody who's half reasonable as a piece that's already been published. So you can take it and submit it elsewhere, or self-publish it, or do whatever you like. It's still your work.
Yep, absolutely. Still your work, so you can still do with it what you would like. Couple of questions have come through about the formatting. We'll be releasing more details about the how and where to submit and formatting, etc., as we get closer to the submission date. But I can tell you at a high level, standard manuscript format, please, for your final submission, Word doc, so a docx or a docx or .doc, basic text, a .txt file, or an RTF file, rich text format. Scrivener, I've seen some notes in the chat about Scrivener, which I think offers a template for short stories. Feel free to use that. When you're done, export that from Scrivener as a docx before you import into AutoCrit to do your editing. Naturally, we would very much like for you to use AutoCrit for your editing and polishing before you submit that. So more details to come. Very specific information will be provided closer to our submission day, which is Monday the 24th. And then we're also doing a live stream on that day that is just open Q&A. So anybody who may not catch this live stream or the replay of this broadcast, details will be coming out via email. Details will be in our Facebook group and our members-only Mighty Network community, as well as that open Q&A on submission day itself, Monday the 24th. A few other questions coming through around, can I do erotica? Can I do first person, second person, switch POVs? All of that, I believe, Gareth, is completely open. Up to you. Those are the creative choices that we're going to leave in your capable hands. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. When it comes to creative choices, the possibilities are almost endless.
Almost endless.
It's simply to make sure at the end that the piece is properly edited. Again, as I said, just kind of in professional publishable shape at the end.
Yep.
Whatever choices you've made in between there are entirely yours to make.
Yep. So yeah. Oh, sorry. So I was just going to pull Lillian's comment up here. So it's okay to write an episode of my life in present tense. Do I need to mention the year? Yes, write it in present tense. Any creative decisions you want. I don't think you need to mention the year personally. But that is a little bit, that is up to you. Absolutely up to you. That's one of those creative decisions.
Yeah, I mean, things like that, again, with creative choice, it could be, all right, maybe you do just have the location and date at the very opening of the story, as like the, kind of heading. Or you can, if you want to make the date or the timing a part of the story, if it is relevant, you want to use that as scene setting.
Little contextual clues.
Yeah, you could infer the date, the type of cars that are driving around, the clothes people are wearing, what's the current hip lingo from 1981, that kind of stuff can be inferred during the story. So again, it's a creative choice, up to you.
Yep, up to you. All of that. Such good questions we're getting. Now I had another really great one going right by. Oh, right. Look at that, Ryan. Ryan was in our anthology last year. Congratulations. Great to see you again, Ryan, by the way, and published it today. Fantastic. Let's talk about all the events. So I mentioned we've got that live Q&A on Monday the 24th, but we have so much more planned for you. So we will have this printable calendar available for download later today. I just happen to have my advanced copy. But every weekday, there's something going on with the challenge. It'll be a live stream event. We're doing them at 1 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, then Monday and Tuesday for the submission day and the closing celebration. Now, all of those will be live streamed. They'll be available on YouTube, and the recordings will be immediately available on YouTube right after. So as we're speaking, the magic of YouTube is recording me. And so it'll be available just anytime you are able to come and watch those replays. So completely available and ready immediately, right after as soon as we hang up the call here, it'll be ready for you. So the same will apply for all of our live streams. Now you notice I only said Monday through Friday. We're going to give you a little break. I know you love hanging out with us, but on Saturdays and Sundays, those are your days to really do the work. Carve out some time for yourself and sit down, butt in chair, derriere in the chair, as Crystal King likes to say, and get those words out. So we'll load you up with inspiration, guidance. We've got a write-in. We'll load you up through the week. Definitely do your writing through the week, but you'll, hopefully have a little bit of a break, a do the work day on Saturdays and Sundays throughout the challenge. Now, I love some of these guests we have coming up. We've got, starting tomorrow, the Power Hour. We have every Tuesday we do a show on AutoCrit Live. Now, whether it's a deep dive live or a fireside chat, which is one of our wonderful author interviews, or a What's the Score live, where Gareth takes a best-selling novel and picks it apart using AutoCrit. Fantastic stuff. Tomorrow's AutoCrit Power Hour is getting started with your short story. Daniel and Gareth are going to partner together to talk about ideas and prompts and more details about hands-on getting started with your individual story. And then right after that, Wednesday at 1 o'clock, our most popular show on AutoCrit Live is called Pitch It. And we're doing a short story edition of Pitch It on Wednesday. Then, Gareth, you want to talk about who's coming Thursday? I'm super excited about this.
Yes, we do have a few just excellent guests planned to come in for live streams with us. This Thursday, we have the always amazing Rain Hall, who you may have seen
She's
on the show
so
before, coming back in. I believe this week she'll be talking a lot about using setting in short stories as well to keep them moving. So that's going to be a really great time. Following that, we have another good friend of ours, Ali Machadi, coming in on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we have Jay Thorne, who is always an excellent guest. His is going to be really interesting because if you thought a short story in 2 weeks kind of makes your toes curl, well, make sure to join us to speak with him, because his personal goals are a lot loftier than that.
Yes. Teaser. Yeah. I love that. Jay is such all of our guests are tremendous. Jay has really taken that next step in challenging himself for 2021 with his writing. And by the way, he's got a tremendous podcast, and I know we'll talk about that when we talk with Jay. So the rest of the next week, we'll have 2 episodes of The Story Doctor that are focused on the writing challenge. So if you're stuck, if you would like some tips, tricks, hints that are particular to a situation in your short story, join The Story Doctor at 1 p.m. on Wednesday the 19th and Friday the 21st to maybe get some pro diagnosis for your story. In between there, we'll do a live edit of someone's short story using AutoCrit. That's on Thursday the 20th. Then, of course, do the work on the weekend, submission day, the 24th, and the celebration and prize draw on the 25th. Now, hopefully, not everybody was trying to jot those down as we were quickly going through them, because we will have a printable calendar for you. And all of those events are published with reminders and everything as events in our Facebook author community, as events on our autocrit.com/events page, and in our AutoCrit member exclusive, members only Mighty Networks community. So, and we'll be sending this out via email. So don't worry. Yeah, we went through those pretty quickly, but just wanted you to know we've got a lot of exciting things planned for you in the next 2 weeks to inspire you, to encourage you, to give you a little bit of accountability and a little bit of partnership so you can really rock this 14-day short story challenge. How are we doing on questions in the chat here? I might be a little behind. Oh, how many, one question came through. How many stories will be selected? Hi, Denise. Good to see you. 10. 10 is our target. 10. And I will say, last year we had a few hundred submissions. Competition was fierce last year. And this year we have more participants, more. We expect more submissions. So bring your A game. Bring your A game. Can I write squid romance? Yes.
You
and
may.
I know who you are. I expect you to. I know who you are. Trigger warnings probably won't be necessary. The majority of these will, the first, trigger warnings are nice if you are going into some very dark things. It's much appreciated. The sanity of our jury panel would probably appreciate that, but they're not going to be mandatory. So is that right? Do you think?
Yeah, they won't be mandatory. But again, if you think there's something kind of disturbing or super disturbing in there, please do note it, because we'll make sure the right, it hits the right jury members first, and not the wrong ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So someone just said, don't see an event for Thursday this week. Oh, you know what? Where was that question? I think I scrolled right by it. Don't see an event for Thursday. Where did you go? If you're listening out there and you didn't see an event for Thursday, can you? Oh, Darth Fictive. Okay. Can you let me know where you're looking that you didn't see it? Because I may have missed one. There were a lot of events to set up. Just let me know where, and I'll get that set up for you right away. Facebook, our website, Mighty Networks. The schedule I know has it because it's right here. So just let me know. That would be really appreciated. I appreciate you letting me know that I might have missed one. There was a frenzy of setting up all these events. So Anne has a question. Will we be able to log into AutoCrit and get them, or do we have to log into YouTube separately? And I believe she's talking about the replays of these events. All the replays of these live streams are on our publicly available YouTube channel. So no, you don't have to log into anything to see the replays of the events. They're all just publicly available in our YouTube channel. And yes, the story, Charlie mentions the story's rights are still ours. It does apply to winners as well as those who have were submitted and were not chosen, as well as folks who chose not to submit. The story's rights are still your own, regardless of the situation. And the winner stories are published in our exclusive private run anthology. So it is not a publicly published work. It is I usually have my copy of the anthology with me, but it's a trophy anthology. So it is meant for just the authors of those stories to have their work in print, but it's not ISBN. It's not copyright. It's no rights are taken.
It's only official to AutoCrit.
Thank you. Okay.
Nowhere
yes.
else. I saw just caught a question there scrolling through from Nikhil. Any tips on editing a short piece in AutoCrit? Does the smaller number of words make analysis more difficult? It's quite an important one. Yes, when you're editing in the platform, the more words, the better, frankly, for the algorithm. I think the minimum you'd probably want to be running is around 500 words. So I would say my recommendation anyway for short stories like this is going to be write it first. Don't edit it kind of as you go, which I know a lot of people do like to do when it comes to writing novels. Just kind of write a chapter, edit it, move on. I would say get it down first. And then in the second week, we'll flip around to editing. But it's just to make sure you have a decent amount of words already there to edit with.
Great question and great answer, Gareth. Good info there. We'll be kicking off what we kind of internally consider editing week on Monday the 17th with Ali Mashadi, who's going to talk about hello. Maybe I hope I write better than I speak right now. Ali will be talking with us about that transition over from your writing hat to your editing hat, and talking a little bit about like how to edit those short stories. And we'll be talking a lot about AutoCrit within that live stream show as well. So yes, absolutely. Thank you for letting me know, whomever popped out in the chat, that I missed the 13th on Facebook. So I'll get that added today, and you will have all of that available. Let's see, where we go. Oh, a couple of people have missed or didn't get the emailed prompts. We will have a link because for whatever reason, the magic of the internet sometimes goes awry and emails don't get through. We have a link where you can just go and download those directly. So we'll be posting that link in the Facebook group. We'll post it as a comment to this broadcast. We can resend it via email. So we'll definitely make sure that you get those prompts into your hands.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think for those, if you want to get them directly as well at any time, just pop onto the website, hit the little blue chat button in the corner, and just say, "Hey, can I get the writing prompts for the challenge?"
Yeah.
Our support team will just shoot them over to you.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see, where do we find this? So those prompts would have come via email, but we can certainly we'll give you a couple different ways to get those if for whatever reason the email didn't come through to you, or you just want another copy. Let's see. Let me check Gareth, if you can have a peek at the comments, and I'm just going to look over at the FAQ. We'll post a link to the FAQ, and we're going to include some of the cues we're getting during this session as well. Terrific questions, and that always helps us round out our frequently asked questions. So a timing. Once you've entered, if inspiration strikes, you want to start writing, go for it. The challenge officially opens today. So we've dropped the rope, we've sounded the starter's pistol, whatever weird analogy you want to go with. You ready to go? For timing for submissions, we're not going to be accepting early submissions. We'll be accepting those starting on the 24th at this point in time. The goal is really, if you have a story that's ready today to submit, then we're pretty confident that it's not a fruit of the challenge. And it really kind of doesn't go along with the spirit of the challenge of creating it from idea to polish to perfection in just 14 days. So that submission will open up later in the challenge. As of this moment, we're planning to not start accepting them until the 24th, but we want to give people enough time. So we may flex on that a little bit, but definitely not any earlier than, toward the end of week 2 of the competition. Writing prompts, one thing we're going to add to the FAQ. We have the link for you to download, so we'll provide that. And a couple of people have asked, even in this live stream, hey, do we have to use the prompts? And the answer is no, but I love that some of those questions have come from participants probably in what we were doing last year for fun, which we may bring back. Give us a comment in the chat if you want this to come back, our Destination Unknown Challenge. We used to run that every month where we gave you a prompt and you had to use that exact prompt. Remember that, Gareth?
Yep, that was good fun.
That was good fun. A prompt, a twist, and an ending sentence, and you had to do all 3 of them in 3 weeks. Yeah, it was evil, but it was so fun. Oh, yeah. It's just a really challenging little thing. So Lynn, great question. Do you have prizes for membership in AutoCrit? I believe we do, Gareth. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we may.
Yeah.
There's a number of really great prizes. We're going to keep the whole range kind of a little under wraps for now, because it's going to be part of the fun on the closing ceremony, where we will do a live prize draw for people who participated. But yes, prizes will include AutoCrit memberships, and I think we've already mentioned a deluxe book cover design package courtesy of
That's
BookBaby.
right.
Was also an excellent one.
So nice.
So we'll get more into that as we go and have our guests and whatnot. But yes, there will be.
Leite says merch in the question, like merchandise. I mean, tell me what you have in mind, Leite. Let's connect offline and let me know what you're thinking, and let's let's. I always love some merch. I was just using my AutoCrit coffee mug this morning, and I am the only one on our team who has one. I'm very special. So y'all, merch might be a thing. Cheryl has a question. Gareth, what are your thoughts on our children's stories? Welcome.
Absolutely. Yes. If you, well, I was going to say if you've read it, but only the people who were in it have read it. I guess Ryan might be able to say in the comments.
That's right.
The winning collection from last year, again, it's such an eclectic mix inside this anthology. So you have, there was an action story, horror like Ryan's, and then kind of right next to that was a lighthearted romp featuring a sort of mini army of squirrels.
The squirrels, that's what I was thinking.
Fighting an angry cat in a camping spot. So, and that was really fun. So again, it's all over the place. As long as if it reads well, if it's entertaining, it gets past the judges, well then it may end up in there, and that's regardless of genre and target audience.
Fantastic. I had forgotten about the squirrel story. I loved that one. We had a blast reading those submissions last year. It was really fun. And someone already mentioned, like in the chat, that speaking of a game, the AutoCrit team and our jury may have to bring their game too, because we will have a lot of stories to read. I am all for that. Quick question in the chat. Can we submit just one story each? Yes. One submission per challenger. If you're able to write and edit and polish 2 5,000-word short stories within the 2-week period, choose your favorite. And I'm like, I don't know, self-publish the other one. Submit it to, take a peek out there for anthology open calls and see kind of where else you may want to use your second favorite one. Lillian, great question. Lillian is in the chat saying, I use British English for writing. Do you prefer US English? We have no preference. So throw in all the extra vowels from an Americanized point of view. Throw in all the extra U's that you would like to do. And if you are writing in British English, South African English, Canadian English, all of those are fine. Thursday details we're missing from the. Okay. We've got that Thursday thing that I just missed, so I will definitely get that set up. Let's see. Yes. One story one story submission per challenger.
Yeah, I can see a few questions there as well. On the day of submission, is there a time that it must be submitted by? Not necessarily. I mean, I think it's, if you've been around here a little while, you'll know our team is so international that time zones are really just all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's really not. And although the 24th is the kind of submission day, that's when we're going to open it. Certainly, we're not going to be super strict about that. If you upload it on Tuesday or Wednesday, it's not going to be invalidated just because you were a day or two late. So Don't worry yourself too much about that.
It will take us we expect a flood of submissions, and we welcome that. That being said, it will take us a little while to go through and read each one of those and kind of have the jury read through all of them and make those selections. So we're a little flexible. Heck, I rarely know what time it is in anybody's time zone. It's 1:39 p.m. for me here now. I only know that it's later than that for Gareth and earlier than that for some other members of our team. So we don't really go by a specific deadline, like a time deadline. We're not that formal. You know that. Dana, hi. Dana says, is there a cost to submit? No cost. all of this, all the live streams, all the events, the submission, the prize wins, all are free. We do have, Gareth, do you want to talk about the $1 thing?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
One of the things that is kind of built into AutoCrit is whenever you create a free account, if you come across AutoCrit for the first time and make a free account, initially you have the option to kind of test drive for 14 days for $1, so you can unlock all the reporting and everything. What we like to do for this challenge, because it's 14 days long, it seems like a no-brainer, is give you the $1 offer, because it does expire quite quickly when you first come across AutoCrit. So if you sleep on it, well, then it's not available anymore. However, if you want to try that, if you have an account, like a free account already, and you think for the 14 days of this challenge it would be useful, again, pop onto the website, send us a little message with the blue bubble, and we'll be more than happy to extend that $1 offer to you. So you unlock everything for the 14 days. And again, if you figure that you're done with it at that point, then you can cancel and your membership will just go back to free level. Just let us know at that point, but that is available. If you have not used AutoCrit at all so far and you think you may use it for the challenge, pop over, create yourself a free account, and you'll have that $1 offer just kind of right there waiting for you. So that's
fantastic.
While we're on the topic of AutoCrit as well, I see a question: does your summary score matter in the story contest? From JL Wallace. No, it does not.
Good question.
That's kind of on your side. If you're using AutoCrit to edit and to polish everything up for submission, well, then you can concern yourself with the summary score. But when it comes to the submissions and the jury reading it, we're not going to put the stories into AutoCrit or do anything with it on that end. It's just read as though it were a submission to, as I said before, like an anthology that you find online and you generally want to be published in. So, no, we will not be checking things in AutoCrit and comparing scores or anything like that.
Excellent. A couple other questions from the chats. Does the jury come from many different genres? The answer is yes. We're not at this point allowed to disclose exactly who is on our panel because we have some privacy. What are they? NDAs, Gareth? Is that what we have with the panel? So we can't reveal exactly who they are, but they are industry professionals, writers, editors, publishers, and they come from a large range of different genre, everything from romance to horror to, gosh, I'm trying to think of some others.
So I was thinking
those are my two go-to examples because they're so disparate. So
yeah, it's a wide range of people because it would pretty much suck to have a jury that are all just biased towards whatever it is that they do. So and
then we'd have an anthology that is all homogenous, and that wouldn't be very interesting for all of us to read.
That would take some of the fun out of it.
Yeah, it really would. Lynn has a quick question in the chat. Is there a way to get professional subscription to AutoCrit without a credit card or PayPal? At this time, those are the only payment methods that we accept. For more information on that, Lynn, just hit that blue support bubble inside our application, and our tech support team can provide some more information for you. But at this point, those are the two options. Let's see.
I see one story submission per pen name.
Per pen name. I see Darth Victive. Yeah. Like one from Gareth and one from Bareth. Like, come on. Fantastic. Those, we talked a little bit earlier at the start of this live stream about those prompts. They were on your welcome or confirmation email, a link to that. We're going to provide another link out in our Facebook group and another link in our Mighty Networks member community, so everyone can get access to those in case your confirmation email or any of your emails have gone into any sort of cyberspace black hole. Absolutely. Kristen, great question in the chat here. Just curious, I know you guys will have a lot of submissions to read. Fingers crossed, y'all, be ready. Winner decisions made about the winners. That will really depend on how many submissions we get. Gareth, do you recall a kind of a rule of thumb what happened last year? This is our second year doing this challenge.
Yeah.
So we only have 1 year of experience to draw upon, but
I honestly couldn't give you a straight recollection of how long it took.
I couldn't either.
I know we've got a couple of people here viewing and commenting. Certainly Ryan and I believe David as well were both
David,
winners last
hi.
time, and they may be able to give a greater idea, but it will take time. If you're in there, coming to the winner announcement, probably not a whole long time. Again, it depends on how many submissions there are, but going into production, getting the cover designed, getting a typeset and printed and everything, there will be some time there. So again, if you win and you're told that you're going to be in there, it's keep your patience pants on, because you'll need them for a little bit. But
your patience pants.
Hopefully, we won't keep you waiting too long.
Oh, I've waited my whole life to hear Gareth say patience pants. That is awesome. I love that. Is there Denise has a good question. I want to pull that up in sidebar. For those of you wondering how to bribe us, for those who are familiar with AutoCrit, and we're real people behind the software. I know everyone who knows me knows that I love kittens. My cat makes regular appearances on live streams when we teach our classes and when we do our events. So please. So while that might be the way to my heart, in real life, no bribing for the challenge. Although if you have kittens, like I see somebody said, oh, I've got some kittens, like I need to adopt out. I can't.
I'll give an answer. Send board games. I'll sort you out.
You're crazy. Oh, now, Gareth, tell us about the check-ins. So we keep mentioning these prizes. Once you're entered into the challenge, as all of you are, or you wouldn't know to be on this live stream, once you're entered, you do have an entry for all the prizes. But Gareth, tell us about the check-ins and how we might get more entries.
Yes. As you know, I guess hopefully we've made it quite clear with all of the things that are involved in this thing. The challenge is simply about getting you writing. And part of that is obviously accountability. And to make sure that you're in the chair every day doing something. And part of that as well is I want to go right back to the beginning as well, Denise, is because people may stumble across this video and they'll be like, what's this all about? So we'll have to make sure there's a link in the comments. You do have to be registered for the challenge, first of all, which is on a registration page that we have. We'll make sure we get the link in there. And once you're registered, you're automatically eligible for the prize draw at the end. And that's regardless of whether you submit something or whatever. Just for registering, you're in the running. But to add to that accountability, we will be sending for the next 14 days daily emails, which are reminding about the live events that we have for that day, so you don't forget. Also with some quotes and things to just keep the motivation up. And every day's email will also have a button to check in. And when you click that button, it'll simply take you to a webpage that says, congratulations, you're checked in for today. But on the back end, that will add another entry into the prize draw for you. So each day that you check in and give us a wave and say, hey, I'm here and I'm working, you'll get another chance to win a prize.
And Gareth and I love to talk about accountability and motivation. If you are motivated by prizes, you have a chance to stack the deck in your favor with that by checking in every day. A little bit of a gamification thing, but be sure you do the writing, because that's the important part. How do we make sure we're registered for the challenge, and where do we register? Yeah, Gareth, I don't think we have a link on our public website because this is such a specific event. We'll make sure, I think that came from Kathy, we'll make sure that we have the registration link posted in the comments of this video. Beth K, if you're out there, if anybody's out there from our team that has the link handy, I just don't have it queued up and ready to, oh, wait, do I have a banner for this? I love a banner.
I have it incoming.
Oh.
You'll have a little comment there popping up. There you go.
Thank
so that's
you.
that's the registration link. If you're not registered yet, pop over there, take a second to make sure you're registered, and that'll take care of it.
AutoCrit.com/writing-challenge-2021. Fantastic. Oh, excellent. Yay. Can anyone do this, or does it have to be people in the community? Oh, good question, B. This is open to anyone. So when B says, I think I know which B writer this is, a member of our AutoCrit members only community, which is hosted on Mighty Networks. Now, we do have a specific area in there for our subscribers, for our professional and elite level members. That is in our member community, but you don't have to be even an AutoCrit subscriber to participate. We're hosting all these live streams out through YouTube. We've published the schedule of events on Mighty Networks within our community. Publicly, it's available on our website at autocrit.com/events. Links to all the events we've scheduled, as well as Facebook events scheduled in our AutoCrit author community on Facebook. And then even if you don't have Facebook or any of those other things, we'll be sending all of this daily via emails. Gareth just mentioned, along with those daily emails to give you some motivation, give you a little reminder to get to work, give you a chance to click through and get an extra entry. It'll have all the information about how to join our live stream for that day. And then, of course, if 1 p.m. on Eastern time zone doesn't really work for you, you can always catch the replays. They'll be available immediately after out on YouTube at the same link. So you're in perfect shape. Oh, good question. Yes, thank you. Charlie had a great question, and Chantel just reminded me, do we need a cover for our submission? And the answer is no cover.
Yeah, in fact, we'd rather there wasn't.
Yeah.
It makes it easier if it's just a quick text file upload. Mm-hmm. I saw another question as well about the submissions. Are the submissions judged blindly? Yes, they are.
Yeah, blind. Completely blind. Absolutely. Yep.
And that takes care of Stevens. Are your ex's submissions automatically disqualified? Unfortunately not, because they're blind judged. Jack, will there be any comments or critiques from the panel? Sadly, no. I think with a small team, it's going to be a mammoth undertaking if it's anything like last year. So giving individual feedbacks sadly won't be possible.
No, absolutely. Yep. Good question. Sunbeat Pillow just put in the chat, with the writing prompts, can they be placed anywhere in the story? Actually, writing prompts are not required to be used. So we just provide those as a little bit of inspiration. If you want to pick one, absolutely. If you want to pick 3 and mash them together, absolutely. But it's not required that you include any of those prompts in the story at all, or even use them, or even look at them. Yeah. If you have a story you've been kind of noodling around, then just a little extra shot of inspiration.
Yeah, they're just there to help you kind of come up with an idea. You don't have to use any of them verbatim whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. No. That it kind of sent us on a little tangent earlier about our other competition where we do require that, but this is not that. This one is much more flexible. So fantastic. Okay, let's see. Let me just check in the chat. I'm so happy to see how excited everyone is in the chat. Great to see some folks who have been kind of on a little bit of a break and back already. Maurizio says, I invited like 5 friends to participate. Yes, we favor, if you have a strong competitive streak, challenge your friends. Challenge your friends. I'm all about side wagers and making it, upping the ante a little bit by getting head-to-head competition. Maurizio and 5 of their friends, absolutely. We'll make sure. Oh, I just saw a little. We'll put the Facebook group link in the chat. I'm just writing some notes over here on the side, so bear with me.
Tassie, I can see your question there about will this be uploaded after? Yes, if you give it, I think YouTube usually takes around 20 minutes or so to process it behind, and then this will just be up on the YouTube page. That will be the same for every daily live stream that we have. They will all be there on YouTube afterwards.
Chantel, great question. Can we post to our social media accounts? We would love that. Yes, you not only can, you may, you should. I encourage it. I celebrate that. Fantastic. That would be wonderful. Oh, what if we didn't get the email with the check-in links? I don't think any of the check-in links emails have gone out yet, since we're just kicking off the challenge right now. If you, Alicia, if you don't see an email, and if you haven't gotten any emails from us, hit that blue button on our website to reach tech support, and they'll help you out. We definitely want you to get those daily emails because we want you to be able to click through and get those extra entries for the prize drawings. And
always make sure to check your junk folder just in case. Sometimes, depending on who the provider that they're going to, some of them will send it right into your inbox. Some will put it in promotions. Some will send it into junk. You never know what people are doing. So,
and it looks like that. It looks like that did go out this morning. The first check-in email went out this morning. It went out. Okay, that was earlier today. Okay. So again, remember when we talked about time zones and it's guilty. So yeah, if you didn't get the check-in email, do check promotions, spam, junk. Sometimes some of those filters are very aggressive. If you didn't get it, pop that into that little blue chat bubble, and we'll get you squared away. If all else fails and we just can't figure out why we can't talk to you on email, let tech support know, and we'll pop you in an entry manually. We can do that as well. So yeah. Check an email. We'll add to the FAQ. Okay, how's it looking out there, Gareth? How are we doing? Squad and folks in the chat.
I think we're doing pretty well. If we've missed anyone's questions, please pop a comment in now so that it pops to the end, and we'll grab it.
Is there a hashtag we would love for our fans and participants to use? I have been using on the social posts so far, I think, hashtag, oh my, what on earth? I've drawn a blank. Gareth, sing a little song while I do a little research on the side here.
I'll just blow my kazoo.
Yes, would you please? I'm just going to check Instagram because I posted there recently with it. We had a few options, so I tried to pick one. There's like
Darth Victive there. If you didn't get one because just joining during the stream. So today's email would have went out a little earlier today for those who were already registered. So if you register at this point today, it'll kind of skip over the first one. So you'll get your first one starting tomorrow.
Okay, that makes total sense. I don't know, Gareth. Let me get back to everyone on the hashtag. I'll put it in the comments because now, of course, technology is failing me at this exact moment. But we always would love it, hashtag AutoCrit, or tag us in the post. We're out there, Editing Wizard, AutoCrit Editing. We've got lots of socials, and I'll put our social handles in the comments on this video as well.
Yeah, I think looking at the Twitter feed, I don't think we came up with a particular hashtag or a creative little hashtag for it. So if you do want to share on there and you want to be a pioneer for us, feel free to make one up.
Yeah. Let's go trend. Stephen. Okay, there, Gareth, this one's for you. We say this a lot. Pop in, just pop over and pop into the blue bubble and pop in. How do you think I feel when we have a show called our AutoCrit Power Hour? My last name is Power, although I actually named it, so I guess it was a good thing. Is there an age requirement for participating, and any age limit? No, I don't think so, right?
No, we haven't stipulated. It would be a good idea, though, given the eclectic nature of everything. Like I said, regarding last year's trophy anthology, quite a mix of content in there. So if you have someone who's very young and they win and get a copy in there, their story might be nestled right next to a disturbing horror tale. So something to consider there, because it is very, very broad.
True. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. Melissa has a question. Thanks, Ryan. I know you got to bounce, and we are almost to our time, so we'll do one more question from the group.
I'll mention there just from Charlie to check if you know for sure registered. Yeah. Easiest way is, again, pop on the site and hit the blue chat button. Just ask. They can check and make sure that you've got the right registration.
Popping on the blue bubble, and they
say it again.
Yes, you did. Just click on the blue bubble on our site and let them know your name and the email address that you would have registered under, and they can double check that for you for sure. One last one for me, from Melissa. I'm a part of the AutoCrit author community on Facebook. Are there more to join? So if you're in that group, you are well positioned to take advantage of this challenge. If you are also already an AutoCrit subscriber, or if you choose to take that $1 14-day professional level trial, then you'll be also invited to join our private members only online community, which is hosted off of Facebook in our own platform. It's hosted by Mighty Networks, but it is all only AutoCrit professional and elite members. So if you're a member, you can join that group. You'll be invited once you become a subscriber, even if it's on that trial. So that might be nice for these 14 days. Grab that $1 trial, then you can be in the members only community as well, and just kind of get the best of all of the worlds.
Indeed, it's a good thing to think about as well, is taking a peek back there in the membership area, because it's what not a lot of people know at this moment. It's a relatively new thing, but AutoCrit isn't just the editing platform of the software anymore. As part of the membership, we have this members-only community where we have special guests come in, from authors to cover artists, publishers, all come in to do exclusive Q&As, which is for members only. And they're all recorded and sort of in there. So if you do try the $1 trial, you'll get 14 days of access to go in there and watch hours and hours and hours of people talk about writing and publishing.
Oh my gosh, it is binge-worthy content. I mean, the guests that we have cover tons of genre, tons of different types of writing, editing, publishing, cover art design. Even if it's not in your genre, just so many helpful tips in there. It's so interesting to see how other people work as well. So if you've binged all the Netflix content you can bear, and you really want something that might be a change of pace for you to binge the members only content on our Mighty Networks community. All right. With that being said, thank you everybody for joining us. I have loved this, and I have loved all of the excitement I'm seeing in the chat. We will make sure, I've got several follow-ups. So thank you for all the great questions. This will make our FAQs even stronger. So if you're watching this on replay, check below for the link to the FAQs document. I'll make sure I get that set up for us later today, as soon as I get it all tidied up. We'll also include the reg link, some tips and tricks about where to find those prompts if you missed those, and a link to the Facebook group, which is, the Facebook group is freely available to everyone. Even if you're not yet an AutoCrit subscriber, you can join that Facebook author community and kind of hang out with, we're there, as well as just tons of amazing folks from across the writing community worldwide. Whew. This is exciting. Okay, I know everybody's like, okay, I gotta go. The chat's exploding with like, I have to go right now. Oh, I just got the prompts. I have to go right. Yay! Go right. Have a blast. Have fun. The one inflexible rule for this challenge is have fun.
Yeah, and with that, I will blow the world's quietest, non-existent whistle and start the challenge. Going right.
It's quiet Antonon. You're just so great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, join us tomorrow, Tuesday, May 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern for AutoCrit Power Hour, all about getting started with your short story. So, and whoa, what? Throw down that gauntlet, and yes, look out. I love how like everyone's competitive with this. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day and happy writing. We'll see you soon.
See you tomorrow.